Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com, and in this tutorial we're going to look at drawing text. And the reason for that is I want to work towards having different game states where the game can be won or lost or ready or playing. And if the game's lost, let's say, we can draw some text on the screen saying you lost. And of course you can draw text for showing a score on the screen. If you like, there are lots of things you can do with it, or just messages during the game. But here I'm going to use it to draw just a screen that says you've won or you've lost or whatever. So I'm in game.java and I'm going to rename this public void draw to public void draw game, and I'm going to create another public void draw, and I'm just going to use this to demonstrate drawing text. And I'll create a public void draw text, and I'm just going to pass this a string which will be some text to draw, and I'm only going to draw text in the center of the screen. So let's say, to test it, draw text, tap screen to start, and we'll try to draw that text just in the center of the screen. And to do this I can use a method called, well, I need a method of the canvas. So in fact, let's take this canvas locking stuff from in fact what I'll do is I'll just reorganize this a little bit slightly, and if I just copy this, copy the insides of what was draw, let's just put it back in draw for a second. What I'd like to do is in here in the middle, in the bit where the canvas is actually locked, then I'll call different methods as appropriate. So I'm just going to cut the center out of that, so we've just got the canvas locking in draw, and I might call draw text for the moment, and draw text, I'll make that take a canvas and string text. So to draw text I'll pass the canvas, which is locked, and some text saying tap screen to start. And then I'm gonna also have a public void, I've got a public void draw game, and I'm going to take the canvas locking stuff out of that, and let's get rid of all that, and we'll pass that a canvas to draw on canvas, so it can draw on that canvas. So what we've got now is I've got the draw method. So we have a draw method before, that's been called by GameRunner at regular intervals, and the draw method now, it just locks the canvas, and at the moment it then calls draw text, and it passes a canvas to draw text with some text to draw, and we haven't implemented that yet. But what it could also do instead is it could call draw game, and draw game now takes a canvas, and that actually draws the game. So we've got two draw methods, one for the game and one for drawing text, and we've got a third kind of overall draw method that can call whichever kind of sub draw method is necessary, and this kind of method that's just called draw, that now locks the canvas. Okay, so in draw text, which is what I really want to show you in this tutorial, having done that reorganization, I can draw stuff by saying canvas.draw text, and that takes some text to draw. So we pass in the text that we're passing to draw text, and X and Y position, and I'm going to make this screen. I think we've got screen width, haven't we? Let's go to the top and take a look. In game, I've got width and height, but I don't actually store them anywhere in game at the moment. So let's do that. So I pass to the constructor in game the screen width and the screen height, but I'm not then storing them. So, we can get that information from the canvas. Let's do that. So when I draw the text, I'm going to say here canvas.get width over 2, and for Y canvas.get height over 2. So we're drawing it in the middle of the canvas, and now I need to supply a paint that specifies how this text should be drawn. So I'm going to declare a paint object here, paint equals new paint. And for efficiency, I could actually make this a member variable up here, which is probably a good idea. In fact, let's do that. So I'll take it out of draw text, and let's have a private paint, and I'll call this text paint. And then in the constructor, let's say text paint equals new paint, and this is the paint that we'll use to paint the text with. In other words, it specifies how the text should look. So I'm going to set some things on this. Let's make sure that we're passing it now. So when I call canvas.drawText, I want to pass it this text paint, which I'm now going to define. So canvas.drawText, it just takes the text to draw, the position to draw it at, and this paint object. And this paint object, I'll say textPaint.setTextAlign, and I'll set that to align.center to align the center of the text to the position that I say I should paint it at. So it's going to be directly in the center of the screen, as opposed to, for example, aligning the left hand side of the text with the center of the screen, which wouldn't look good. Let's say textPaint.set anti-alias. I'm not sure if that's on by default or not, but it won't hurt to set that to true. Anti-aliasing makes things smooth, basically. And textPaint.set, what else do we need? How about color, which I could set to color.blue maybe. And textPaint.set, and I'm just using control space to look at the different possibilities. And I'm not sure if there's anything else that I really need. Well, actually, how about set text size? That's an important one, and I don't know what size to set. I'll try 26. And textPaint.set text. Well, set typeface, that could be a good one. And let's set typeface dot. And I just want to set maybe default bold, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so I think that should work. Let's run that, and if this works, we're going to see a message in the middle of the screen that's just going to say tap screen to start, and then we can go ahead and implement some game states, so the game has a notion of when it's running and when it's been lost and all that kind of thing. Okay, so here we go, and there's one little thing I forgot, which is I forgot that I want to make the screen white and not black. So I'm gonna fix that just by having canvas.drawColor, and I'm going to make sure that I put that. I could even just take it out of here and put it in draw, so that regardless of what we draw, we'll first clear the screen, and that will look nicer. And apart from that, it's actually pretty much fine. And it looks bad because the screencast stretches it to 1.5 times normal size, but on my phone it looks really nice and smooth. So I might make it a bit smaller with the font size, but other than that, that's pretty good. So that's it for this tutorial, and until next time, happy coding.